Hey guys, hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day long weekend. I did not want to make today's video because how embarrassing this week was. But I had to remind myself why I started this YouTube channel in the first place, and that was to keep things real about my day trading journey, even when things got painful and ugly. And that's why I'm here. So let me get right into it. So the week started with a nice $800 green day on Monday. I followed it up with a better day on Tuesday, hitting 1,050 in profits. Then 700 on Wednesday, 860 on Thursday. So at this point, I'm so glad of how the week is gone. I've continued the momentum from the previous week into this week. All I wanted to do is finish the week strong before the long weekend. But on Friday, I gave it all back and some more. My emotions got the best of me, guys, that day. I'll be honest. After that trade on BCTX, I was still okay, but that last trade on QBTS just was pure desperation at its finest. There was no strategy. It was just hope that I had turned to as a strategy, and it completely backfired on me. Let me show you in my screen share on what happened on BCTX and on QBTS. Guys, we're in Trader View. That's my trade on BCTX from this Friday. It's a biotech stock. It came up with news at about 7:30 a.m. about some positive clinical trial. It had this little spike here on this. This is a 1 minute chart. So on the way down, I had a bad entry for a stock with fresh news. I was hitting literally the second candle, and that was bad on my part. I saw these top wicks, so I added here again. But the thing was, it was making higher lows, and I was getting a bit nervous. The only thing that was still keeping me in the position was these top wicks here. And I was like, it's probably going to break down at some point here. It did not. And when this little surge happened, this was almost like, what, 50 cents? And I was like, I have to cover. And I pretty much had a top tick exit here. But obviously, I did not know it's a top tick exit at that point. And was the right thing to do. It was a bad start in terms of getting in so low and then averaging up. Completely agree that I should not have entered literally on a stock with fresh news, but I have been trading well the entire week, so fine. One slip up on this trade, you know what? I was like, it's okay. And then what happened here is that IB ran out of shares to short. So when it was obvious that it's breaking down, I just pretty much looked at it going down. And then I got a bit triggered here when it broke my average cost basis. And I think, you know what, it's okay. I've taken a loss, which was about 1792, about $1,800 loss there. And I was like, you know what, it's okay. Let's lessen the blow. So I had a couple of good trades after that. If you look at my, let me just drag this here. So I had some green trades after that. So at about 9:30 a.m. New York time, which was pretty much at the open, I was red. Let me just minimize this. So I was red about $1,100 at that point. So I had lessened the blow. I had taken some decent trades, got that red day down from 1,800 to about 1,100. And then I was like, you know what? I've been averaging 800, 850 the entire week. So even if I get that down that much, even if I have like a $500 red day, I'd given back just 1 day of gains. But I don't know what happened to me, guys. It was either when I think back, it was pretty much that it was Friday. I felt I was running out of time to pretty much claw my way back. And out of desperation, knowing that this stock, QBTS, was in play the entire week from Monday until Friday. So on Monday, they had a pretty strong news catalyst about the availability of their most advanced quantum computer, and it's been literally surging the entire week. So knowing how many shots were trapped on this thing pretty much at 9:30 a.m., knowing that it's a higher float stock. It's not some micro float that's gonna flush at the open. I just got desperate and I really thought it's gonna flush. And I took a position right here on that little pullback at the open, averaged up. I was pretty much in full size at this point, and I just sat through all of this, guys. This is, let me show you. That's 2,000 shares I took. That was my biggest mistake of going in pretty much all in right at the open and then just turning to hope as the strategy, which is the worst thing you can do as a trader. That's literally 9:30, 9:31, averaged up, then averaged up a little more with whatever buying power I had. Look at that. Sat with it for one full hour, guys. That being red, giving all of it back is one source of pain. And watching and sitting through this agonizing hour, guys, it was genuinely painful. And I knew that. So when I taken that position 1884, if you see that, was the high of that candle. So I knew that if that breaks, I I knew I had to cover my position because at that point the pattern was broken. It was pretty obvious that it was not going to flush like it almost showed here. It went down to 1795, and that's how I got. Obviously, that's why I stayed in that position for so long because I'm like, you know what, it might come down to this again. Again, all hope based, guys. It's all hope. This trade was doomed from the get go. I should have known better, but like I said, my lack of self discipline and just that desperation to lessen the magnitude of my red day or maybe even go green on the day. I wanted to be a hero, but that process that I adopted did not obviously warrant me turning green on the day. And in fact, I went from $1,100 loss at that point to ending the day 4,000 red. And that's how my week ended. So, folks, there you have it. This week is a wash. And there are lessons to be learned, as painful as they are, as repetitive as they are. I have to learn them, digest them, and make sure I do better because I deserve better. I need to set better examples for people who are probably in my shoes, and I need to just move on from there. And at some point, I'm genuinely asking myself this question that how long will I continue to be an emotionally fueled amateur trader and just take some meaningful steps towards being a professional trader? And that's what I'm going to do this weekend. My next video is probably going to be next weekend, which is going to capture my results for the month of May 2025. And until then,